The movie opens with a woman named Angela. After losing her husband, everything fell on her. Raising 3 kids, she turned her own house into a small restaurant, serving food just to make ends meet. She has 3 children, her eldest daughter Wendy, and twin boys, Douglas and James. Right beside their home, a railway track cuts through the land, and it's become a quiet routine for the kids to sit and watch trains pass by. Then one day, a boy named Thomas is celebrating his 7th birthday at Angela's restaurant. His parents are there, friends are there. It should have been a happy day. But during the party, a few kids start teasing him. Thomas doesn't react at first. He just quietly takes it. But when no one's paying attention, he walks out, not just out of the restaurant, but straight toward the nearby train tracks. He climbs onto a moving train. From above, little Wendy sees this happen. And then, Thomas is gone. Time passes, 6 long years go by. But that day never leaves Wendy's mind. It lingers, like something unfinished. No one ever found Thomas. Not the townspeople, not even the police. It's like he vanished into thin air. Posters still remind everyone he was 7 when he disappeared, which means now he should be 13. Wendy is now 9, a little older, a little more aware of the world. She helps her mother at the restaurant alongside her brothers, and slowly she begins to understand something deeper, the cost of responsibility. One night, Angela shares stories from her past, a version of herself that feels almost unreal now. Before marriage, before kids, she loved traveling. She would wander from city to city, chasing adventure, but life changed. Marriage came, then children, and after her husband's death, responsibility replaced everything else. Her own life, her own dreams, they quietly disappeared. The next day after school, Wendy and her brothers head to a nearby river, casually catching fish. Everything feels normal until Wendy hears something, a train. She looks up, and without thinking, she starts running toward it, leaving her brothers behind. But the train is too fast. She can't reach it. Still, something about it stays with her. Her mother's words echo in her head. How people grow up, get trapped in responsibilities, and never get to live freely again. That night, everyone's asleep, but Wendy isn't. She sits by the window, staring outside into the dark silence. And then, she hears it again, a train. As it passes by, she notices something strange. There's a boy. That's when everything shifts. Wendy runs outside immediately. Her brothers follow her. As the train slows down, all 3 of them jump on. After searching for a while, they finally find him. He introduces himself as Peter, and what he says next doesn't sound real. He tells them if they trust him, he can take them somewhere. A place where time isn't a problem. A place where no one grows up. Wendy was already craving adventure, so without much hesitation, she agrees, and her brothers follow. Soon the train reaches a long bridge. Peter turns to them and calmly says something unexpected. They need to jump into the river below. That's where the path begins. At first they hesitate, fear creeping in, but one by one, they leap down into the water, and waiting for them below is another child, sitting in a small boat. He helps them aboard and begins taking them further, deeper into the unknown. After a long journey, they finally arrive. An island. Beautiful. Almost unreal. This island is controlled by something. An alien presence. Everyone here calls it Mother, and suddenly, this place doesn't feel so magical anymore. Peter leads them inside, explaining that they're not alone. There are many other children here. Kids from different places, different times, all living together, forming their own world. A world without adults. And then, someone appears, walking toward them. Wendy freezes, because she recognizes him. It's Thomas, the same boy who disappeared 6 years ago. But here's what doesn't make sense. He still looks exactly the same. 7 years old, not a day older. While Wendy and her brothers have grown, Thomas hasn't changed at all. And right here, you realize something isn't normal. This island is hiding something far deeper than it seems. As evening falls, they explore more of the place. There are children everywhere, all living freely, like time doesn't exist. Eventually, Wendy and her brothers decide they'll stay for a few days, and then go back home. The next morning, Wendy wakes up and notices Peter standing by the shoreline. Wendy walks up to him. Without saying much, Peter suddenly dives into the water. Wendy follows him. Underneath the surface, she sees it. Something moving. Not like a fish, not like anything natural. An unnatural, alien-like creature gliding through the water. The moment Wendy spots it, fear hits instantly. She backs away, panicking. Peter quickly calms her down. He explains, this isn't from Earth. This creature came here long ago, carried by a meteorite. Peter tells her, this being isn't just physical. It's connected to the 4th dimension, time itself. Humans, he explains, are limited. We exist in 3 dimensions, length, width, height. That's all we can understand. But this creature, it doesn't experience time the way we do. For it, the past, present, and future exist all at once. And because of that, it can control time. That's exactly what it did to this island. Time here has been slowed down to an extreme level. Every child on this island came from a different time period. Some from years ago, some from centuries. Peter himself reveals something shocking. He first arrived here in the 19th century, over 100 years ago. And yet, he hasn't aged a single day. He's still the same. That's why everyone calls this entity Mother. It provides food, water, and maintains this strange balance. But then Peter adds something serious. There's a condition. As long as you trust Mother, time stays still. But the moment that trust breaks, time snaps back. Wendy suddenly wakes up from her sleep. She hears movement, and when she looks, she sees an old man sneaking away. The man quickly disappears toward another part of the island, a place Peter never mentioned. Wendy confronts Peter, and this time, he doesn't hide it. He tells her the truth. That old man was once just like them, a child. But at some point, his trust in Mother broke, and the moment it did, time hit him all at once. He aged rapidly, turning old in what felt like an instant. And he's not the only one. There's an entire section of the island filled with people like him, people who lost their trust and paid the price. Wendy hears this, but she doesn't dwell on it too much. A little later, she heads out with Peter and her brothers toward the water. At first, everything feels calm, but then something changes. Wendy and James suddenly realize Douglas is gone. He was right behind them, swimming, and now he's nowhere. Both of them dive back into the water, searching desperately. They call his name. Other children hear the noise and rush to help. Everyone searches, but no matter how hard they try, there's no sign of Douglas. For James, this hits harder than anything. Douglas isn't just his brother, he's his twin. And losing him like this breaks something inside him. The next morning, things get worse. James wakes up and notices something strange. His hand. It doesn't look the same, wrinkled, aged, and that's when it clicks for Wendy. James has lost trust. Deep down, something inside him cracked. And now, time is catching up to him. James starts thinking irrationally. What if he removes the part that's aging? What if cutting off his own hand stops it? Peter admits no one has ever tried something like that before. But before things go further, Wendy steps in. She's scared, not just of what's happening, but of what might come next. She decides they need help, real help. And that leads them back to the old man, the same one who stole food. Wendy approaches him, asks for help. After a moment, he agrees. He takes them to the hidden side of the island, and what they find there changes everything. This place is completely different. The people here, all of them were once children too, but after losing trust, they aged rapidly, becoming old. And unlike the main island, Mother doesn't provide for them anymore. No easy food, no safety. They have to catch fish, survive on their own. It's like a completely different world. And then they reveal something, a secret. They believe if the creature, Mother, is destroyed, everything will reset. Their lost age will return. Time will go back to normal. For them, this is hope. For James, this becomes something else. Anger, grief, and a need to fix everything. That's when he comes up with a plan, a dangerous one. He suggests they use the children, kidnap them, force Mother to appear. Because if the children are in danger, it won't stay hidden. And once it comes out, they can end it. The idea spreads quickly, and soon. The older group begins moving toward the main part of the island. Wendy realizes what's about to happen, and she runs, trying to reach the others first, trying to warn them. But she's too late. When she arrives, it's already happened. All the children have been captured. Only Peter managed to escape. Wendy finds him, and together, they climb up to a higher point, overlooking everything below. Under James's direction, the older group is dragging all the captured children toward the shoreline. They're placing them onto a large boat, using them as bait to force Mother to come out. Peter looks at Wendy and says one thing clearly. They have to stop this, no matter what. And without wasting another second, they start running, taking a shortcut through the island, trying to reach the boat before it's too late. As Wendy and Peter race through the island, Wendy suddenly spots someone ahead. It's Douglas, alive, completely unharmed. She runs to him and hugs him tight. Turns out, he never drowned. He had drifted off in another direction and ended up far from where they were searching. There's no time to process it, and together, they rush toward the boat. Wendy and Douglas climb onto the boat, but just as things seem to turn, the older group returns. They're caught, dragged away and brought before their leader. And standing there is James. Only now, he looks even older than before. Time hasn't slowed down for him anymore. It's been racing. But the moment he sees Douglas alive, everything changes. He breaks. Tears fill his eyes. But it's too late. The plan is already in motion. With all the children captured, the alien entity emerges from the depths. This is exactly what the older group wanted. They surround it immediately, they trap it in a net, and then they strike. James leads the attack, throwing sharp weapons toward the creature. Soon, the creature weakens, and finally, it stops moving. Mother is gone. And then, everyone waits, because this was supposed to fix everything. This was supposed to reverse time, give them back what they lost. But nothing happens. Not a single change. The older people remain old. Their age doesn't reverse. Their bodies don't recover. And right here, reality hits hard. There was no reset. They didn't break the system. They only destroyed the one thing holding it together. Wendy looks around and finally understands. Without Mother, the island isn't special anymore. It's just a normal place now. She turns to Peter and the others. There's only one choice left. Leave. Go back home. Live real lives. Because staying here means nothing now. But James, he doesn't move. He looks at Wendy, then at Douglas, and quietly says something that hits deeper than anything else. He can't go back. Not like this. He doesn't want his mother to see him this way. So, he makes a decision. Wendy and Douglas will return, and they'll tell their mother that James is gone. Not dead. Just gone somewhere. Wendy and Douglas return to their world. But they carry something no one else understands. A place where time stopped. A brother they couldn't bring back. And a truth they could never share.